With AI taking over the world, the smartest thing you can do right now is freelance. You can't rely on your boss or your company. Freelancing, on the other hand, is an art. You either can do it or you can't. Okay, that's a bunch of nonsense. I've been freelancing for over 10 years and mark my words, whoever you are, wherever you can be a very successful freelancer. Full stop. So I'm building this video to help take you to the next level of freelancing. I'm not playing any games, so let me tell you how you can do this. Here's what we'll talk about in this mini guide. First of all, we'll talk about things you should not do. For example, quitting your job might be the worst thing you've ever done in freelancing. It's usually not a Hollywood movie. Then we'll talk about your freelancing skills and your odds in the freelancing world. For example, if you're a doctor who wants to freelance in medicine, you might have worse odds than a graphic designer who wants to graphic design. It's nothing personal, it's just the word of freelancing. Finally, we'll discuss tangible steps that you can take to actually start this. If you have some cash lying around, then you can do it on your own. But if you don't, like a majority of freelancers out there, then you have to use a freelancing platform like Fiverr or Upwork, which we're going to discuss in detail. That should be enough to get you started. But before we begin, you need to know who I am, because you can't just listen to a random YouTube video about anyone who speaks about freelancing. That's not how it works. I'm Elanani, a business consulting freelancer in Switzerland. I've earned a cumulative of more than $220,000 through freelancing. That was through Upwork, through Fiverr, through Medium, and through word of mouth. Now that you know a little bit about me, let me know more about you so that I would be able to help, because let's be honest, these videos could help to a certain extent. More consultation or tips and tricks are the thing that you need to actually progress in your freelancing. So shoot me a comment about what you want to freelance in and any questions that you have, and then we're going to start a discussion from there. Now let's get started. Here's what not to do. This is your to not to do list. Quitting your job. I want to tell you that freelancing is beautiful and that you're going to earn thousands very quickly. I'm quite the motivational person, but I'm also a realist. So let's be realistic. You do not need to quit your job. You do not need the element of fear, as many might say. And you need to learn freelancing 101. Time management. If you can't do this while already having a job, then once you start freelancing, you won't be able to do it as well, which is going to result in a catastrophe. Or even worse, it's just going to let you be satisfied with a low income, and you are never going to grow in your freelancing career as much as you would have in the other career. Don't expect speed. It's a very common mistake. An average freelancer takes years in order to achieve the level that they have at their current job. That's totally normal, and I'm very confident in saying that. But the truth is, once you reach the level of your current job, your growth could be exponential from then. You're going to make a lot more money than your other colleagues who still remain at their job. Experience is definitely not enough. You need to constantly learn. Let me explain. When you have a full-time job, you usually learn by experience. You deal with your team, you solve obstacles the whole day, so that's how you'll learn. In freelancing, you don't have that. Most of the time you don't have a team, and you need to learn by your own. If you're just alone, then the only way to do it is to actually practice your own skills. For example, reading and so on. All right, now that that's off the table, let's talk about your skills. Okay, so now Al, the realist, is gonna speak to you. Freelancing is a game of odds. It's not a gamble or anything, but it really depends on the skills that you have. For example, if you want to freelance in your medical career, it's not easy to find a client who wants a medical writer. But if you want to freelance in graphic design, it's more common that you would find clients who want logo designs, for example, or brochure design or whatever. Some skills are high in demand while others are not. That's the reality of the situation. But don't let that stop you. If you're only hesitated between two things, should I become a medical writer or a graphic designer, and you know both of these skills, then maybe diversify. Try a little bit of this and a little bit of this so that you would have some income stream coming until you are more established as a medical writer. Okay, now I'm taking a little bit of a break and I'll tell you what I think is going to be one of the most favorable skills in the future, in the next 10 years or so. If you had to predict, there is one thing that you probably listen to, all your friends talked about, and the whole world is just crazy about these days. That's artificial intelligence or ChatGPT. So my prediction of the freelancing world is that it's going to go more into this direction. You'll find jobs if you're an AI writer, an AI developer, an AI tester, something around that. This is where you're going to find the most odds in terms of freelancing. Of course, that does not mean that if you freelance in interior design, you're not going to find a job. That's just my personal opinion, that it's going to be more in demand. Artificial intelligence is going to be more in demand. So if you can tailor your work around it, I think it would be a little bit wise. That's just my personal take of it. But you don't have to listen to me on this. You can listen to the biggest freelancing website on the planet. They release a report saying the most in-demand skills. The website is Upwork.com, and their reports you can find by just Googling Upwork in-demand skills of the quarter of 2023, for example. Finally, let's talk about some tangible steps. Come on, we need to do action, right? Well, you have two options. You can either freelance on your own. If you have a small marketing budget, I would just throw a ballpark figure and say it's around $5,000 if you want to start in freelancing. And something like marketing or web design, you need this amount to create your own company, to create your own website, to start marketing for the whole product or your startup per se. But the majority of freelancers don't have this funds to start with, and they would like to find an alternative. And for that, you can use a freelancing platform like Upwork or Fiverr. I'll tell you the three that I've been working on for more than a year that I made a lot of money on. The first one is Upwork.com. It's the largest freelancing website and it's the best place to get started. It's really a good place to get started, but here are my tips. You have to rewire your brain and forget the words CV, cover letter, jobs, all these words, just forget about them. Deal with it as a casual platform. So instead of saying Dear Al, etc., etc., etc. to a client, maybe just say hi. A piece of advice that I said before to a lot of people who consulted me about Upwork is you have to deal with Upwork as your Tinder profile. So people are going to swipe away if they don't like you. You have to make a very good first impression. Make sure that your picture is perfect, that your attention grabbing techniques in the first line is perfect, and that you have skills that those people would actually need. Oh, and their commission just announced this year stands at 10%, which is lower than most of the alternatives. Let's be honest, I could speak more and more about Upwork, but this is sort of a practical thing. So if you really need to get started, I would advise you to get ready, make a cup of coffee, open your laptop, start creating a profile. I've created a guide for such situation. That's not this video. There's a guide. If you search in my YouTube channel, you'll find something about Upwork that has the exact details of how to sign up, what exact tips and tricks to do in detail. So go visit that if you really are ready to get started. Second one is Fiverr.com, which is very similar to Upwork. It's a little bit more confined in its skills. They are more focused on things that you can deliver quickly, like a development project or a design. And they're also a little bit of a less budget. So if you're earning $10 in Upwork, I would expect you to earn $8 on Fiverr. Competition is also more in Fiverr, just because you have to post your gig, and if clients find it interesting, then they would actually hire you. So it's sort of like a search engine that you just post everything you know, and that you would hope for clients to click on your gig. So I would say it's a two-edged sword. It's good in this element that you don't exert a lot of effort. For example, on my Fiverr profile at the moment, I don't really do anything. I just leave it and some clients text me and then I check if it's okay. On Upwork, you exert a lot of effort because you speak to clients all the time in order to land jobs. Their commission stands at 20%, and I've also recorded a very long Fiverr guide on how to actually ace it there. So you can check it out on my channel. Here's a note or a disclaimer per se. Upwork and Fiverr are very good places to get started in freelancing, but they should not be your end destination. It should be a phase in your freelancing career, and then you should move on. They require a lot of attention, and they always prioritize the clients. For example, in most of their terms and conditions, they allow the clients to charge back the funds, or not really the clients, but the bank. So if a client heads to their bank and asks for the money that they paid on Fiverr or on Upwork back, then Upwork and Fiverr are going to refund the money to the bank, and then they're going to tell you, hey, we're just middlemen. That's not our job. So at the end, you could get screwed over or get a little bit of a failed jobs because of this reason, just because of a wrong law or a system like that. So always keep in consideration that each 50 or 100 jobs you do in such freelancing platforms, you're going to lose a few for this particular reason. Finally, my third recommendation is medium.com if you're a writer. But wait, you don't have to be like an author per se, or a writer. Like, don't think of the word writer as a big deal. You need to know how to use casual writing and attention grabbing to write about something that you're passionate about. If you do that, then this is the recipe of success there. I've started only in 2022, and I earned on Medium last February around $7,000 just in a single month. If you're also into that, I also created a guide about it, and you'll find it on my channel. Okay, that's more than enough for now. This is my recommendation on how to start freelancing in the year of 2023. Thank you for watching this video. If you do have any question or any tips about freelancing or anything whatsoever, please put it in the comments. Always remember that there might be someone on the other side of the globe who is wondering that, and they would really benefit from it. So please do. And if you want to like this video, do that. If you don't, that's okay. No big deal. And subscribe also if you're gonna like. But most importantly, have a wonderful day.